All right, let's talk about it. Michael B. Jordan just won an Oscar, and the more you sit with it, the more you realize this didn't come out of nowhere. This wasn't a surprise. This was something that's been building for years, quietly, patiently, almost like the industry was waiting for the right moment to catch up to what he's been doing all along. So today, I want to break this down, not in a checklist, not in surface level takes, but as a story. Because that's really what this is, the story of how an actor becomes undeniable. Part 1. The slow burn. The thing about Michael B. Jordan is that he never rushed it. From the beginning of his career, there's always been a sense of intention behind his choices. You could feel that he wasn't chasing moments. He was building towards something. Early on, you saw glimpses of vulnerability in his performances. This ability to let emotion sit just beneath the surface without forcing it. And over time, that restraint became his greatest weapon. Because while a lot of actors try to prove themselves by doing more, Jordan went in the opposite direction. He learned how to do less, but mean more. He learned how to hold back just enough that the audience leans in. That kind of control doesn't happen overnight. It's something you refine, role after role, year after year. And by the time we get to this Oscar-winning performance, that control isn't something he's thinking about anymore. It's just who he is as an actor. Part 2. The performance itself. Now let's step into the performance that actually won him the Oscar. What makes it stand out isn't just intensity, it's the layering. It's the contradictions he's able to carry at the same time without ever letting the character feel inconsistent. You're watching someone who can appear completely composed on the surface, but there's always something shifting underneath. A hesitation in the eyes, a slight delay before responding, a tension in the jaw that tells you there's something being held back. And that's what makes it feel real, because real people are contradictory. We're not just one emotion at a time, and Jordan understands that on a deep level. So instead of playing a single arc, he lets multiple emotional threads exist at once, and slowly lets them collide. There are moments in the performance where he barely moves, barely speaks, and yet you can feel everything changing. You can track the character unraveling, not through big dramatic gestures, but through the smallest possible details. That's not just acting, that's precision. Part 3. The body tells the truth. One of the most fascinating parts of his performance is something you might not even consciously notice the first time you watch it. It's his physicality. The way he carries himself at the beginning of the film is not the same as who he becomes by the end. Early on, there's a certain steadiness to him. His posture is controlled, his movements are deliberate, almost calculated. But as the story progresses, that control starts to slip. It's subtle, it's never exaggerated, but you can see it in the way his shoulders tense, in the way his breathing changes, in how his stillness starts to feel less like confidence and more like pressure. By the time the character reaches his breaking point, it doesn't feel like a sudden shift. It feels inevitable, like everything we've been watching has been leading to that moment. Part 4. Trusting the frame. Another reason this performance lands the way it does is because of the collaboration behind it. You can tell this is an actor who fully trusted the direction. The film isn't afraid to sit with him. The camera lingers longer than usual, holding on his face, letting moments stretch just enough to become uncomfortable. And that only works if the actor can carry it. Jordan can. He doesn't rush the emotion. He doesn't try to fill every second. He lets silence do the work when it needs to, and when he finally does break that silence, it hits harder because of everything that came before it. That kind of patience is rare, and it's a huge part of why the performance feels so immersive. Part 5. The moment. Everything aligned. Here's the truth about the Oscars. Timing matters. There are incredible performances every year that don't win. Not because they aren't worthy, but because the moment isn't right. For Michael B. Jordan, this was the moment where everything aligned. He had the respect of the industry. He had years of strong performances behind him. And now he had a role that didn't just showcase his talent, it demanded that people recognize it. This wasn't him arriving. This was the industry finally catching up. Part 6. The intangible factor. And then there's the part that's hardest to explain, but impossible to ignore. Presence. Some actors can disappear into roles. Others command your attention no matter what they're doing. Jordan somehow does both at the same time. You can't take your eyes off him, even in the quietest moments. Not because he's trying to stand out, but because he understands exactly how to exist within a scene without breaking it. That balance between star power and complete immersion is incredibly rare. And when an actor reaches that point, when everything clicks into place like that, that's when Oscars happen. So when people ask why Michael B. Jordan won that Oscar, it's not just about one role. It's about the years of discipline, the evolution of his craft, the risks he took, and the moment where all of it came together in a performance that felt undeniable. This wasn't a surprise, it was a payoff. And if anything, it feels like the beginning of something even bigger. If you enjoyed this kind of deep dive into performances and what makes them work, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Do you think this was his best performance? Or is there another one that still stands above the rest? I'll see you in the next one.